Stuff in order. Let me get my stuff in order. Adjuster checkup. It's the adjuster checkup. It's time for the adjuster checkup, everybody. Let's talk about these updates. Let's talk about this weather. Let's talk about these opportunities that are out here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I am going to try to keep this as clear and concise and short as possible. All right. If you don't catch the live, catch me on the replay. All right. And I will be also posting this video in the, what do you call that? Our adjuster group. Oh, I'm tired. Adjuster, the TPAS Adjuster Connection, the private social media page for TPAS trained and mentored adjusters. So let's get started. I know you guys are getting what I'm getting. Your phones are blowing up. Your emails are blowing up with all these different opportunities to get out there and get deployed and start working. So let's go down the list. And I'll say this. I'm going to post these jobs in the TPAS Adjuster Connection group. If you're not if you're not an adjuster that has been trained by us or is currently being mentored by us, please go to our website to look at those options so that you can be a part of the network and get, keep your ear to the adjuster streets on what's going on out here as far as jobs and opportunities. Okay. GRS is looking for adjusters right now for 1099 QA file review. So quality assurance file review, and they have asked to put people on standby for that. I have not responded to that. That'd probably be the only one I would even, me personally. If you're an experienced adjuster, this might be a job that you may like. I got this notification via email. Let me see, and I'll read it really quick. GRS is monitoring tropical storm, which I think she's now hurricane. I got this notification on the 28th, so I got this 2 days ago. GRS is monitoring tropical storm Idalia. Heavy rainfall from tropical storm Idalia as it is expected to go across the eastern Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba. The heavy rainfall may produce areas of flash and urban flooding, as well as landslides across western Cuba. The tropical storm is forecast to strengthen during the next few days and could become a hurricane over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, bringing a potential of dangerous storm surge, heavy rainfall, and strong winds to portions of the west coast of Florida and the southeast U.S. by mid to late next week. Please monitor your email for updates. If you are available, meet the required criteria, and wish to be on standby for this event, please click accept. There is a button in the chat. Not in the chat. There is a button in the email that you can say accept or decline. So they're saying please hit accept below. Additional information will be provided if when needed for deployment and orientation. The standby request will expire after 96 hours, so please be sure to accept no later than 12 p.m. on September 1st, 2023. If you're not on GRS's, which is Global Risk Solutions, if you're not on their roster, work on getting on it. Put them on the list, add them to a roster that you need to apply for so that you can get in front of the next opportunity, okay? And it says the carrier is various carriers. The location is remote, so you will be remote. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay. I'm like, I'm getting so tongue-tied, and I don't know why. It's driving me crazy right now. All right. Anyhow, you can work the location, you can work this assignment remotely if you're chosen for it. All right. So that means that you probably would be doing that from home. They may have you come in and do an in-person training and orientation at first, and then eventually release you back to your house to work the rest of those claims. It says assignments type 1099 QA file reviewer. Compensation. It says fee schedule to be provided by claims manager upon accepting the assignment. So they're not telling you how much it is right up front. Orientation or training. It will be virtual or a live location. It's to be announced, and their requirements are you have to have over 5 years of property desk or file review experience, an active license in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and a laptop. Once you have successfully accepted this standby request, please click here to access the GRS Career Center and click apply to initiate your onboarding process. Okay, so they got it right here. Please click OK. So they got everything right here. They're sending to you. I think this is the second notification. Looks like I got 2 notifications in regards to this email. So I will definitely. The other one that they also sent on the same day, on the 28th, also from GRS, Global Risk Solutions. They're looking for 1099 field adjusters in the states of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Again, they want you in this case to have over 2 years of property field adjusting experience with an active license in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. And of course, an Xactimate subscription, reliable transportation, a laptop, and other field adjusting tools. You're going to be in the field. You're going to need measuring tape. You're going to need a ladder, so forth and so on. You're going to need your cougar paws when you're getting up on the roof. Yeah. All right. So they have file reviewer positions open at GRS, and they have 1099 field adjuster positions open at GRS. All right. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, if you're not on, you may not have completely missed the boat. If you're not on that roster, get on it. Global Risk Solutions, go look them up, go get started so that you can get in front of an opportunity, okay? And then when it comes to cost for some of the things that they're wanting you to come with, laptop, supplies, so forth and so on. Remember, as an independent adjuster, again, and these are 1099 positions, you are an independent contractor, meaning you are your own business owner, meaning that what you spend on your business supplies to do your job, a ladder, for instance, for a field adjuster, a laptop, whether you're field or remote, so forth and so on, that is a tax write-off, okay? So make sure through this adjusting process, I tell all my students this, but if you're not one of mine, make sure that you're keeping your receipts. Make sure that you're tapped into an accountant, not a tax processing company. No shade to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt. You need an accountant, okay? Somebody who really knows tax law, who understands like how you have to write things off and things like that, because some of these companies were independent adjusters, but they'll issue you a W-2, and so sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't need to file or apply for any write-offs or keep any receipts. No, keep all your receipts, because it's possible that you can still do both, okay? So GRS Global Risk Solutions is what we just went over. Global Risk Solutions is looking for file examiners right now to work remotely, and they are looking for field adjusters right now to work on site. And for both of those positions, you need to be a licensed adjuster for Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. All right. So just to let you know, those opportunities are out there. Global Risk Solution. If you do not yet, if you're not on Global Risk Solutions roster, get on it now. You may not be able to take advantage of these opportunities, but depending on what the storms are going to bring will depend on other opportunities that may come about. Okay, so let's look and see what else I got. I got a lot of stuff through text message as well. Let me look at my phone. I'm going to look at that. If anybody has any questions right now while I'm looking this up, because I have to look. It's crazy because I tell all of my adjusters when they're new to create an adjuster email. Do you know I don't have an adjuster email? But I tell you all to create an adjuster email because yeah, I see how messy it can get when you have everything coming to the same email. Adjuster and non-adjuster related. So I got stuff coming in 3-4 different emails. I got stuff coming in text message. So I'm trying to consolidate this right now while I'm on the live. So just bear with me when it comes to that. But in the meantime, if anybody has any questions while I'm looking at these other positions, and that I'm going to tell you guys about, please feel free to put it in the chat and I will do my best to give you an answer. All right. You're talking to somebody with 18 years of experience in this industry. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff that I do know that I can be able to help you out with, especially if you're new to the game or it's still fresh for you. If the game is still fresh for you, I can help you out. All right, let me see. And again, I'm going to post these actual job listings in our TPAS Adjuster Connection chat group. It is a private social media group that we have just for adjusters who have been trained by TPAS or is currently being mentored by TPAS. If you are neither, but you want to tap into our network where we post things like, and I do this continuously. We used to do it in a program called Ring Central Glip. We moved it over to Facebook to keep it easier for people so they don't have to download another application on their phone. But yeah, this is what we do. Our training company, we really believe in investing our time and our energy into the development of the adjuster, getting you the tools that you need in order to get in front of these opportunities. Okay. And so with that, we have our own private network where we have job postings. If there's anything we find out about different trainings and certifications that are out there, we put that there. TPAS also has relationships with other IA firms in the industry who sometimes contact us and say, hey, I need these type of adjusters in this area, and we'll provide them those referrals, so forth and so on. So we have a couple of connections that we have built over all of these years, and yeah, and we use that to help elevate our adjusters so that they can get a leg up, because the whole thing is get deployed, make the money, change your life, help people who are in disaster situations all at the same time. So that's what it's all about. So let me look at our text messages. Oh, I don't know if it'll let me do it. Oh, I don't know if it'll let me do it and it'll let me keep the live up. Let me just test something. It looks like when I try to go off this screen here with Facebook, I wish Facebook had it like, I need to figure out how to do Facebook through my WebEx meetings so I can like do half and half and share screens. But it's okay. I have good memory. I just won't be able to give you the details of the job postings, but I know who sent me text messages, and it's the same players who always do, right? We've got text messages from Alacrity Solutions. If you're not on their roster, get on it. We got text message from Pilot Catastrophe Services. If you're not on their roster, get on it. We got text messages from Renfro. If you're not on their roster, get on it. Now, let me tell you all this. This is something that not everybody knows. Now, let me give you a little something that my people get. There's actually some of these companies, you have to apply for them twice. You might be thinking, wait a minute, if I apply once, why I got to apply twice? Because this is what they've done now. A lot of these companies, especially as the bigger ones like Alacrity Solutions and Pilot, I think Ebrels and Renfro got this going on as well. You see how I just described GRS, Global Risk Solutions, for a job with for 1099, right? So there is a W-2 side to these companies, and there's a 1099 side to these companies. So say, for instance, when you're going to Pilot, let me just go to their website really quick. So what you do is you have to apply to get on their roster on the W-2 side, and then come back and apply to get on their roster on the 1099 side. Okay, so let me go to, Lord, I said pilot.com. It's pilotcat.com for Pilot Catastrophe Services. You go to pilot.com, they're going to try to sell you a bookkeeping service. Anywho, so if you go to pilot.com, you go to the adjuster tab. It says Pilot, your career, getting started, license management training. Let's work together, ready to apply. Let's go. Okay, so you hit the let's go. Now, mind you, it's been a while since I've been on Pilot's roster, so okay, don't Don't talk about me, all right? I'm an old fogey when it comes to this, but you're going to see something like, okay, so it's going to have usually a one page where it's going to have a list of jobs. It's going to be a handful of jobs really quick. One of the jobs says adjuster / or inspector 1099. So that's like pilots on demand services. I think those are also more claims that you get when you want to do daily claims in your area, like that on demand stuff. You want to apply for that job, go through all the motions, right? But then they also have cat adjuster. There's a job for a cat adjuster for property claims. You want to fill that out too, because now that's usually on the W-2 side. It just all depends. So these firms have different clients with different needs, and depending on those clients' needs will depend on if they're going to receive work from that client and they need 1099 adjusters to work it on the 1099 deal, or if it'll be this W-2 type of deal, okay? And Pilot's not the only one that has it. Renfro has it too. Everest has it too. I know Alacrity Solutions has, because Alacrity Solutions was, they bought out Worley, and Worley had a 1099 side, and because Worley bought out NCA, they have a 1099 side and a W-2 side. So once you apply once, you got to go back and do the other application, all right? So that you can have your name in the pot on both ends, have a better chance at getting work, okay? So let's talk about, so yeah, those are the main text messages that I saw. Again, for everybody who's in our private group, TPAS Adjuster Connection, I will post in there the actual copy of the actual jobs where you all can see it and see if that's something that you want to do. Either way it go. If I post a job in the group and it's with a firm that you've never heard of before, you know you haven't applied to be on their roster, that's your cue. Apply to be on their roster. I don't care if they said they wanted X amount of years of experience and you just got your license yesterday. Get on the roster, right? Like, nothing beats a failure but a try. You're not going to know if you're going to have an opportunity in front of you unless you try to get in position to have an opportunity in front of you. You see what I'm saying? Why do I need ID to get ID? If I had ID, I wouldn't need ID. Okay. So, do that. And then I want to just look now. This is what the go-to place that I do. I know that you all have your different outlets for checking out the weather when it comes to the hurricanes. Let me tell you where I go. I'm old school. I told you I've been doing this 18 years, right? I go to the source, okay? I go to the National Oceanic. What is it? Wait. Let me get the whole acronym back up. I go to NOAA, okay? Wait a minute, y'all. Let me take it all the way. I think it's National Oceanic Administrative, whatever. Hold on. I shouldn't say whatever because I'm trying to get it right. But that's basically where I go. Okay, I go to NOAA, and where you want it, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Now, that's the website that I go to get the most updated information when it comes to these hurricanes. Now, where you have to go is you have to go to NOAA's National Hurricane Center. How you get there is go to N as in Nancy, H as in Harry, C as in Charlie for National Hurricane Center, .noaa.gov. Go to that website. Pull it up. That's our National Hurricane Center. You can put that website in Google or you can put it in your address bar. Either way it go. When you put it up in Google, first thing that comes up on the list. All right. You put it up in the address bar. It's going to pop right in to the National Hurricane Center homepage. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disturbances right now out there. Idalia has crossed over. She's back down to a tropical storm because she's over land right now, but she has dumped a ton of freaking water. That means there's going to be a lot of opportunity probably for a flood. There's going to be some opportunities to work claims for wind. It's probably going to be a lot of flood and a lot of sewer backup, okay? If for the areas, for the states and regions that have basements. All right. So with that said, if you're a brand new adjuster, you will not be necessarily able to take advantage of a flood opportunity working for an IA firm unless you go in as someone's apprentice. Okay, you go in under someone or under some type of internship. Now, I do know there are some a flood apprentice program that Pilot has. That's the one I know right off the top of my head. And usually for the flood certification, you have to be a licensed adjuster for 4 years. Excuse me, everything is coming up today. Okay. You have to be a licensed adjuster for 4 years. So if you're not at that 4-year mark, you're not going to be able to get your flood certification. But guess what? There's a workaround. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. And you know, they used to call me smoke and mirrors back in the day, okay? So baby, if I can find a loophole, I will work the loophole, okay? So anywho's, I laugh at myself. Anywho's, what I was telling everybody about when I went, when we did the adjuster checkup last week, we were talking about being able to be a home inspector with FEMA. So FEMA uses 2 companies for their home inspection services. Those companies are Vanguard Inspection Services and WSP USA Inspection Services. Okay, check out their websites and go on there. If you want more detail, because I did it all, I went into detail last week. If you want to go to detail, go to our video from last week, the adjuster checkup from last week. Check that out. I give all the details on the website, so forth and so on. I will tell you, I did start the process with Vanguard. I have not started the process yet with WSP, but I did start with Vanguard. They've been emailing me back and forth all week. The last email they sent me was that they were taking me through an expedited background check process. Okay. So within a day of me putting in my Vanguard application, I received, actually the same day I put the application in, I got an email saying, hey, you have some documents that you need to sign off on in our portal. And I went ahead and signed off on those documents, which was like non-disclosure agreements and so forth and so on. And then maybe 2 days passed and they came and, about a day passed. And then they said, hey, you need to fill out some authorization form to do a background check. I did that. And then they came back with this more formal background check process and said it's going to be expedited, some kind of expedited process that's going to be happening. So I went ahead and I filled that out today because they said that yesterday. I filled it out today. I sent it back. And that's the stage that we're at right now with Vanguard. I have no idea what that's going to lead to and what opportunities that they will have available for me. But we're going with the flow. We're going to see what happens so that I can run it back and I can tell you all, you know, how the process works. But every journey starts with the first step, right? So let's start stepping in that direction to do what we need to do, okay? And get on board. All right, big announcement for you guys. There's been some changes. If you haven't been to the TPAS website in a while, or if you've been there recently, you may have noticed that there are 2 classes that are no longer listed on the site. And that is the Texas All Lines Adjuster Pre-Licensing course, the live in-person face-to-face pre-licensing course. All right, that course is currently, the live in-person version is currently being rewritten, you all. We had to stop. We got to back up a little bit to move forward. Don't worry, it will be back very soon. Okay. However, in the meantime, now you know I can't leave my people hanging. I got a solution for you. You ready to hear it? Drum roll, please. I don't know. I don't have any sound effects. I need sound effects, you guys. I'm too expressionate to not have sound effects. Okay. I'll work on that. So anyhow, so what we're going to do in the meantime, TPAS has signed off with a partnership agreement with the most prominent, one of the oldest insurance education providers in the industry, and that is WebCE. For some of my adjusters, some of you all have called me last minute and said, oh my gosh, Charlene, I don't have all my CEs and my license is about to expire. What do I do? And every time I refer you all to WebCE. So guess what? We're now in partnership with WebCE. So this is how it works. They're still setting everything up, but we signed off on everything today. You're welcome. So what it's going to be, it's not going to be a live in-person classroom. It is going to be a self-study program. We'll have our own little hub in WebCE, our own link where you can go, you can sign up for, if you want to do prep for an exam or pre-licensing for an exam, for a state exam. You can do that through there, and there's going to be a discount code that comes with it. So it will be discounted. So you're going to have special access to WebCE that no other normal adjuster who is not TPAS, honey, does not have. Okay. Anywho, yeah, there's going to be a discount that's going to be put in there. We'll have our own portal that you can tap into. I'll integrate it into the website as well on tpas.llc, where you can go to your course and do a self-study. Now, I will say this, for Texas, as of right now, we may end up, because I know sometimes when people self-study, it takes too long. You can't get through the process fast. So we're working on offering some if you want to have us, if you need our help, we'll do a class that will walk you through the whole self-study process, and then when it's done, you take the exam. We will not be administering the exam. WebCE will be administering it, but that way you'll have a group of people that you can go through the process with, study with, learn with, and then hopefully get through it faster, right, and take the exam, because they give you a year once you sign up to finish the process. But we don't want to take a year, do we? We don't want to take that long, okay, to go through our pre-licensing requirements and take our exam so that we can get our adjuster's license, so that we can start taking advantage of these storms and working. All right. So we're going to have kind of a hybrid type of class situation set up, working in tandem with WebCE on their self-study courses, and then also having a classroom setting and a group of people for you to learn with. So my battery is about to go out. I've got 5%. How much time did I take? I don't even know how much time it took. Not that long, less than 30 minutes, I think, is what I'm hoping for. So yeah, with that said, that's what we got going on. So we talked about the gigs that are out there. Go out there and apply yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Shake off the fear. You've got this. You deserve it, and you've earned it, right? And so go out there, go for these jobs, go for these opportunities, get on these rosters. Quit telling yourself you're not good enough. You are, and just do it. All right. Get with these folks and get in front of these opportunities. And if you want it, you may be able to still get in on an opportunity with all of this rain that's going on. Not just the rain, but California got hit with the wildfires. Hawaii got hit with the wildfires. FEMA's over in Hawaii too, peoples. So go ahead and get with Vanguard Inspection Services, get with WSP USA, get another avenue to make your ends meet. All right. And that's the cool thing about what we do as an insurance adjusters with the skill set that we have. It does and can be used and cross over into other industries. Okay. And so working for the government, that is a whole nother deal. And go back to the video that I did last week where I talked about the money with it. I talked about what the website, I took you through the website, took you through the steps, and in that we read everything and we talked about the earning potential that you can make with that. So take another look at that. Go back on that video from last week. Take a look. If you want to be a TPAS trained or mentored adjuster, just go to our website, tpas.llc. You can sign up for one of our future classes. We got a policy class coming up next week. Policy interpretation for residential properties next week. Our contents class for September is sold out. but you can get in on the contents class for October. We do have some really good opportunities for content trained, certified contents adjusters once you go through the course, that we can definitely put you in front of some companies that are needing contents adjusters ASAP. Okay. So anyhow, I think that is all that I have for you. We talked about that. We talked about FEMA. We talked about the opportunities with the other firms, going and watching the weather and how these storms are moving and stuff, going through NOAA's National Hurricane Center website. And that's all that I have for you. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask, or answer, I don't see them here on the chat, but if you want, put them in on the chat. And if I can't get to them on the chat throughout the week, I will answer them at next week's adjuster checkup. And so with all that said, I thank you so much, everybody, for listening and tuning in, and let's keep each other going. And you can do this. Let's be beautiful together. Okay. I'm working on catchphrases. We'll try that. Let's see how that looks. All right. So anyhow, I'll talk to you all next week, and you have a good one. Bye. Ha 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 ha.